All right, and welcome to Crossroads Live. We are here at the Spirit of the Cowboy in McKinney, Texas, and I'm here with an old buddy of mine, Mr. Bob Fuller. Hello, Bob.
Hey,
welcome
partner.
to the show.
Hey, I'm glad to be with you.
All right, man.
As usual.
All right, great to have you here. And I'll tell you, we're down here celebrating what we call that Spirit of the Cowboy.
You bet.
And there's one thing I wanted to run by you. I think you and you know Don Edwards?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, Don Edwards, you and me have something in common. Would you like to know what that is?
I certainly would.
Okay, I heard.
I know you're going to tell me.
Of course. No, I heard that you have a dog that you named after what?
After my character on
Yeah.
Hermitage, yes. Yeah.
Okay, now you know Don Edwards was in this wonderful movie, Horse Whisperer, with Robert Redford.
Uh-huh.
And his character name was Smokey.
Uh-huh.
And he named his dog Smokey.
I'll be darned.
And then I did a movie called Hero in the Rain, and my character's name was Jake. And I got a dog at home named Jake.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and so I mean that's a one little thing we all have in common.
I named my horse that I have now after the horse I rode on Wagon Train, Gambler.
Yeah. Gambler. That's it. I love that. That's a great name.
Now I've got Gambler too.
All right.
Yeah. But anyway, let me say something. I'm so happy to be here at the Spirit of the Cowboy. This is our third year, and it looks like it's bigger than ever.
It
and
is.
I know, well, we owe it all to Donna Wilmoth and all her friends and all the volunteers that have
Hasn't she
worked
done a
so
wonderful
hard
job?
to put this thing together. I mean, yesterday, Saturday, was so crowded in there, you couldn't even move around. I think the folks are having a really, really good time that come to this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I brought my friend yesterday, and, well, I invited her. She's a good friend of me and my wife's. And so I invited her up, and she had a blast. She wanted to meet you so bad, but didn't get to. But so this is what we're going to do later, if you don't mind. She asked me to get her a picture of you from Emergency, because she loves Emergency.
Absolutely,
Watches
I've
it
got
all the
one.
time.
Absolutely. If you want to call her on the phone later, I'll say hi to her.
We'll try.
Okay.
We'll try. And if I can get her. You know. Anyway, so she's one of them single women, you know.
Oh, single women.
No, very nice lady. Very nice lady. And her name is Lucretia. So there you go. We're talking about you, Lucretia. And so...
last name isn't Borgia, is it?
No, it's Greg. It's Greg. And so anyway, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Jake's Way.
Uh-huh.
I read about this. I don't know a thing about it, so I was going to let you tell about it.
Well, I will tell you about it. Jake's Way is one of my favorite shows that I did. I played, it was shot in Texas, in New Braunfels and Bandera. And I forget what year, my God, it's back in the 80s, I guess, or something that I did it. But it was a movie of the week, I think it was, and it was going to be a pilot for a television show. But it happened to be CBS that had it, and CBS is not real good at putting good stuff on the air. And it didn't make it, which is surprising, because if you talk to some people that saw it, everybody would say it should have been a good series. It was a really, really well done.
Because you had a great partner on that.
Oh, Slim Pickens.
Yes.
I mean, how can you beat it? And I had two new young kids that were in the business that were both good actors, but Slim was so fantastic. And I played the sheriff of this county, you know, and it was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, because
had a lot of action in it.
The first television show I ever worked on was Route 66, and I was just an extra. And
with Marty Miller
and George.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
be darned.
yeah. That was 1961.
Holy, you're absolutely
Well,
right.
see, I was doing theater at Theater 3.
Uh-huh.
And they came in, they were looking for people who would like to be extras and stuff, so they came to the theater. So I would advise people, if you wanna get on television, go to the theater. They show up. And that's how they found George.
Really?
Yeah, George was in the theater. In fact, what's funny about that, I think, if you don't mind hearing this little story, I was doing a play called The Zoo Story, Edward Alva's Zoo Story, The Zoo Story. And so when they brought me on the set with George Maharis, apparently someone had told him. He walked over to me and said, "Hey, kid." I was a kid at the time, you know. I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I understand you're doing the Zoo Story." I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "What part are you playing?" I said, "Jerry." He said, "Remember this. Whatever you do with it, I did it first."
That sounds like George.
Yeah. And so, anyway, no, that was my first experience with television.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, but I wanted to talk a little bit about, because I've been reading about this and really know nothing about it, but I know you know. Is the thing y'all just came from in Utah? Was it Utah?
Kanab, Utah.
Yeah, where they did the plaques of you guys
Right.
and the one of John.
John Smith.
Yes.
Yes.
That was such an honor.
Well, it is. We several of us are very fortunate to have a plaque. It's a big, gorgeous plaque that's concreted in, in the main drag of town, and it's got all our credits and our pictures on it. And they finally honored John, and since I was going to be there, I got to present it, or accept it for him and present it, which was kind of a thrill.
I think that's wonderful.
Smitty was a good friend of mine. You know, God, we worked together for 5 years and had a great time together. You know?
Yeah. Well, I got a couple little things I want to let you talk about, and hang on. We got. Bear with me, folks. Talk a little bit about this movie. I'm gonna let you talk about
Oh my God, Return to Magnificent Seven. That's my favorite movie, and this is my favorite man that I ever worked with. I'm telling you, Yul Brynner was something else. I mean, he was the king, and there's no doubt about that.
Yes.
We were playing poker one day, and well, Claude Akins, of course, was in it with me. Warren Oates, that are good friends. They've done Laramies and wagon trains with me forever. And we were shooting in Alicante, Spain. And we'd go into Yul's trailer and drink and play poker all day long when we weren't working. So anyway, I had two pair. Everybody dropped out except Yul. And he called me. And I put him down. I said, 2 pair. And he said, 3 kings. And I said, beats me. And he drops 2 kings down. And I said, wait a minute. I said, that's only 2 kings. And he says, 3. This one, and this one.
We are all students in the School of Big Storms. We have learned what happens when governments, families, and communities aren't prepared for hurricanes. Now, scientists say a changing climate may mean more frequent and violent storms, and we need to act before the next big storm hits, to prepare and protect families and communities and restore the natural defense system, the wetlands and forests that protect us all from high water and winds. Together we can do it. Learn how.
Yeah, he was.
But
That's the Yul's humor.
Yeah.
He was great.
So
No, I won the pot, but that was Yul. Yeah.
Well,
when I met him, I had never met him before, and the assistant director took me up to his trailer, and he was sitting in a makeup chair getting made up. Door was open, the mirror's here, and he's sitting there getting made up, and he can see the assistant director and I walking from behind, coming all this way up to his trailer, and the assistant director knocks on his door and he says, "Mr. Brynner," he says, "this is Robert Fuller, who's playing the part of Vin." And everybody knew that he did not get along with Steve McQueen.
Yeah, world knew it.
The world knew it. And here I am playing the Steve McQueen part, Vin, and I'm thinking, my God, is he going to, associate me with, not like, yeah. So anyway, I'm kind of nervous about meeting him, and the guy says, "Mr. Brynner, this is Robert Fuller playing the part of Vin," and he doesn't turn around, but he's looking at me in the mirror, and there's dead silence for probably 30 seconds. Doesn't say anything, just looks at me, and I think, oh boy, here it comes. And he finally says, "Do you drink?" And I thought, do I drink? Does he drink? Doesn't he like drinks? Should I drink? Shouldn't I not drink?
Yeah.
You know, and this is all going through my mind, and I figured, what the heck, honesty is the best policy. And I said, yeah, I drink. Dead silence, I swear, for 30 seconds again. Not a word. I thought, uh-oh, I've messed up bad. And then he says, do you play poker? And I cracked a smile. I said, yeah, I play poker. And he turned around and grabbed me. He said, come on in, Pally. Pulled me in, but right, fell on the ground in his trailer right there. We walked out of that trailer about 3 hours later, and we killed a bottle of Johnny Walker Black.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, it sounded like you had a good time.
Oh, God, we got along so good. Had so much fun.
Yeah.
I had a marvelous time with him.
Look at here. I got another surprise for you. I'm all full of. I planned this for you. Look at what. Look at this thing I have here. Look what's on it.
Oh, yeah. It's a Laramie wagon train and everything. My gosh, that's pretty good. What is this? The whole.
Yeah, it's a DVD.
Oh, you got Laredo?
Yeah.
Huh. I'll be darned. State Stop, the very first Laramie that we did.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. That's pretty neat. Yeah.
And the one guy, now we talked about Hoagie last time, and we talked about John, but you know who we did not talk about?
Julie London.
Well, we're going to talk about her. Yeah, I was going to bring her up, but I was going to mention, what's his name, Bobby Crawford?
Bobby Crawford. Yeah,
Yeah.
Johnny Crawford's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny was doing the Rifleman, and
Yeah.
Bobby was his brother was with me on
I
Laramie.
love the relationship
Yeah.
you had with the kid.
Well, we had two kids, you know. Bobby finally, in his third season, got pretty older. You know, they decided to ship him off to college or something, and then we got another young
really?
actor.
Okay.
And I got along with both those kids. I had a lot of fun with them, you know.
Yeah.
And they were both good. They were both really good actors and professionals, and their mothers were fantastic. I mean, forget the stage mother stuff. They were
really?
not like that at all. They
Yeah.
were fun and easy.
They're just good people.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
good people. All right. Speaking of Julie, how you like this? Look what I got.
Emergency. Yeah, there you
First
go.
season. The first season.
Oh, is this? Oh, season one. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I picked that up at my local wall.
Boy, did I love working with that lady. Well, that whole cast was great. A lot of fun to work with. But Julie and Bobby and I, of course, were in the hospital all the time together.
Yeah.
And Julie and Bobby were very close friends of mine to start with.
Yeah.
And as everybody knows, she was married to Jack Webb. You know.
She was married to Jack.
Oh,
Webb?
she was.
I didn't
Not
know
at that time, but she was, because she married to Bobby Troop there.
Yeah.
But no, she was married to Jack long before. Had children with Jack, and Bobby helped raise some of those children. And he actually hired the two of them, hired me.
Yeah.
And we loved Jack Webb. We had a great time with him.
Well, I know, because you told us you didn't really want to do that show.
No, I didn't. I didn't want to do a medical show. I wanted to do another dadgum Western, and there wasn't one on the horizon.
Yeah. Yeah. Hang on, I got some more little stuff here. Now, you know, we both have a friend named Donna.
Uh-huh.
All right. Donna got these for me, made these up for me, and sent them to me. I was going to get you to talk a little bit about The Hard Ride.
The Hard Ride. That's another one of my favorite movies, a motorcycle picture. I like that because I played an ex-Marine in it. I was in the Army myself in Korea for a while. And I'm a pretty patriotic guy.
Yeah,
And it was fun. But I like to ride motorcycles. I had motorcycles. And this was a lot of people like this movie, The Hard
I do.
Ride.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And let's see.
Viper. Shot that in Vancouver. That was quite an experience up there. Played the father of the lead actor in it, and that was a lot of fun. I spent 2 weeks in Vancouver on location. That was an interesting
Let's
one.
see, what have I got here? The Hour of the Bad.
Wow, that was a special for NBC. This was before Vietnam. This is when Peace Corps. I was a Peace Corps worker.
Okay.
And if you remember, this was in the '60s. We didn't have any troops in Vietnam at this point yet. Just peace workers.
Yeah.
And I played one, and it was a great part, a lot of fun to do, and told a lot about Vietnam and the Viet Cong.
And the situation over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was fun to do.
Yeah.
And I had a great leading lady, Barbara Luna.
Oh, my God, yes.
Got to kiss her a couple times. And, I kiss all my leading ladies.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I got one more.
Jungle of Fear. Richard Anderson.
I remember him.
Yeah, $6 Million Man.
Right.
He played the guy who created the $6 Million Man, and a beautiful, beautiful actress and beautiful woman, Ann Blythe. And she was a movie star. If you remember Ann Blythe, she was under contract to MGM, did many, many movies, and a marvelous actress. And a neighbor of mine in Toluca Lake, and just a sweetheart. And I had a lot of fun doing that. And this was a pilot also that didn't sell, which didn't bother me that much. Yeah, the studio asked me to do that one. And again, it wasn't a Western. But,
it wasn't a Western.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what we ought to do, really. I want to thank you for taking this time to be with us.
Hey, it's always my pleasure.
And I don't want to hold you up too much,
my pleasure, partner.
And
I love talking to you.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robert Fuller.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Val. Was that good?
Oh, it was great. You're the best.
Today, I'm out here with my pal Danny Boy, and we have a message for you from the American Lung Association. If you don't smoke, don't start. And if you do smoke, find a way to stop. Now, we know that it's not easy, so check with your doctor. He'll be the first one who'll be glad to help show you the way. Now, for a better quality life and a longer life, stop smoking today. So, for me and Danny, to all of you, good luck, God bless, and here's hoping we see you at the crossroads.
All right, welcome back to Crossroads Live on the Road. We are here in McKinney, Texas at the Spirit of the Cowboy. And once again, I get to sit down and visit with my old buddy, Charlie. How you doing, partner?
I'm doing great. Another great year here, huh?
Oh, isn't it?
Wow, yeah.
Yesterday was packed, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you what, Donna Wilmoth, who puts this shindig on, really knows how to do a good job.
Yes, she does.
Really does. And
Yeah.
we got some new people here this year. We got Dan Haggerty. We've got Clu Gulager and Darby Hinton. Who else? Who am I missing? Marshall Teague. So we got
Marshall
some.
Teague, yeah.
We've got some great people
Yeah,
here this
yeah.
year, along with the Reliables.
Yeah.
And Bob and Alex and
Yeah.
oh, it's fun time.
Yeah.
Time. I'll tell
Oh,
you
yeah.
what. it's-
Well, Bob's a fun time. I mean,
he's a party anyway.
if he can't make you laugh, nobody can. and that is a compliment there.
Bo Hopkins, did you hear him in there tell the story about Lee Marvin, working with Lee Marvin?
No, I missed that.
Oh, you're going to have to play that for him. And you saw it, right? Yeah. It's hilarious. I can't do it justice. You're going to have to play it back.
Well,
and
we
listen
got it
to
on
Yeah,
film,
yeah, you're
on
gonna-
video.
It's-
Anyway. Yeah.
He nails Lee Marvin, I'll tell you what. Beautiful, beautiful impression.
Yeah.
So,
But I'll tell you a quick funny story about that. Bo Hopkins, I had just read on the internet that he was going to be here.
uh-huh,
And I looked up on the TV, and the show Mod Squad's coming on.
uh-huh.
And he was in it.
Yeah?
And so I'm watching him. He was very young at the time, but we were all young then.
Well, hopefully that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, he played a guy coming
I'd
back.
hate for him to be that old back then.
Oh, no, but I mean, he was really
Shall
young.
I tell him you said that? Bo?
Yeah, well, he might punch me. And but no, I thought he looked great. I mean, it was a great show, great performance, and I really enjoyed it. You
Yeah.
know, and I mean, to me, the shocker was I just read it, and I looked up, and there he was.
There
you
he
know?
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was in everything.
Yeah.
Bo Hopkins was in everything, He really, literally was. And
Well,
he
I
worked-
remember him from American Graffiti.
American Graffiti, The Wild Bunch.
Yeah.
He just does some great performances.
Yeah.
I mean, he started right there with some really great people like William Holden and Ernest Borgnine and people like that,
Yeah.
He really worked with some wonderful people.
And so have you.
Well,
You've
I'm
done-
working with someone right now.
Listen to
Jim,
you.
I'll tell you.
Right. Butter up the host, will you? And no, I wanted to say to you that we had talked, I mentioned it to you yesterday, my old friend, Arch Johnson.
Arch Johnson, I did a play in Burbank. California with Arch Johnson, and he traded off the role of Puntala in a play called Puntala and Maddie. It was a variation on a Brecht play, and it was done at Lonnie Chapman's Group Repertory Theater. Remember Lonnie Chapman? Group Repertory Theater is still going.
Oh, really?
But this was when Lonnie Chapman had founded it. And if you don't know Lonnie Chapman's name, you just look it up on the internet.
I think he was in East of Eden.
He was in East of Eden.
Yeah.
I think he sold him the car.
Yeah.
In
right.
East of Eden.
And he did all the stuff with it, describing the car and how it works and everything.
Yeah, yeah. He just had a very successful career.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to be in this show, and R.G. Armstrong and Arch Johnson traded off this role of Puntala.
Yeah.
One night R.G. would do it, and next night Arch would do it. You know, and it was interesting because they both had such different styles.
Yeah.
But they were both great guys. But Arch just it was very personable. He treated you like you were his best friend.
Yeah.
He was just a nice guy.
He was.
And the thing is, he always played those heavies, you know, in the movies. Always, except Camp Runamuck. Remember his TV show Camp Runamuck?
Yeah, I remember that.
Where he was a comedian in that, but he always played heavies in the movies.
Well, you know, my drama coach in Hollywood was a fellow named Sidney Kay, and Sidney Kay and Arch were great buddies.
Sidney Kay.
Sidney Kay.
Okay.
And this was back in the 60s when you were just a baby then.
I wasn't even born.
Yeah. And this was back around 62, 63.
That's why I wear these, so you can't see.
Movie star. And so anyway, Arch,
future's so bright, I got to wear shades.
So one night, Arch Johnson and I and Carol O'Connor and a few others, we all went out for a few. And so we're all, oh, we're having iced tea.
Okay.
And so anyway, Arch started talking about GI Blues with Elvis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
He started talking about GI Blues with Elvis. I said, was Elvis in that movie?
Was he?
He going, yeah, man, Elvis Presley was in that movie. He's the nicest, youngest, richest man I ever met. I told him, I said, I didn't see Elvis in there. He said, what were you looking at? Julia Prowse.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Michael Dante was in that film, too.
I knew he was in Kid Galahad.
Yeah, he was just in the background. You see Matt.
Really?
Yeah, you know, mouthing the words and back in the
Yeah.
GI Blues.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I have to ask him about that if I ever see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have you read his book?
No, I have not.
From Hollywood to Michael Dante.
Yeah, I know about the book, but I haven't
and you
seen it.
need to read it because I wrote the foreword for it.
Yes, of course. That's the part I want to read. And so anyway, I mean, I know all the stories he told me about how he met his wife and all that stuff. Yeah. And he tells a beautiful love story. But anyway, I'll tell you what, we're getting ready to wrap up, go next door, where we're going to catch all your Q&As. Any question, I want to ask you, any question you throw at any of the stars stand out in your mind?
Any question? Yeah, one that they couldn't answer.
Yeah, that's the ones.
That's the one. That's the one. Any question? You know, I had Jack Palance on a panel once, and I asked him why Anthony Quinn played the boxer in the Requiem for a Heavyweight when he did it on TV.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not the way I phrased it. I said, why didn't you do the boxer in the film version? Because you did it on the live television version.
And it was wonderful.
And he says, well, I don't know. You know that voice.
Yeah.
He says, who did play that part? And I said, well, Anthony Quinn did. He said, that's right. And he was very good in it. I don't know. That just always stuck in my mind. You know, it's not so much the questions. It may be just some of the people that I've interviewed. That, like George Montgomery was really a wonderful guy to interview. You know, a lot of history there. And he didn't take himself seriously. He always played these serious guys in the movies, but he wasn't that way at all. And so it just, you know, so it's not so much the questions, but the people.
Yeah. Well, listen, I want to thank you for taking this time to visit with me, my friend.
Absolutely.
Always good to see you again.
Absolutely.
And thanks for being on Crossroads Live. We appreciate you. And thanks for being here again this year at the Spirit of the Cowboy.
Glad they had me back.
Thank you, Donna, for getting this guy. All right, we'll be right back. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Tell me about your character. I noticed that, you know, I've seen one episode where you're out in the middle of nowhere. Your horse ran off and left you or something.
Well, the horses were stolen.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, the horses were stolen. Me and R.W. Hampton's character, he's playing Marshal Jim Lane, and we're taking in a really bad, notorious outlaw. His name is Ben Reese, and we're taking him in, and he gets a gun smuggled to him, and, well, I won't ruin the whole plot for everybody, but our horses get taken, so I end up afoot, and we filmed some of that here in Texas, and we filmed some of it actually in Kanab, Utah.
Mr. Director, does that look good? Why don't you go ahead? And I'm going to just step out of the picture. You do the point.
Okay. The poem's titled My Dreams. I never gave much thought to growing up, it seems. Oh, sure, like any kid, I had my dreams. Like going out west to the wide open spaces, Texas, and them kind of places. I wanted to be a cowboy and ride all day in the saddle, and lay down at night and sing softly to the cattle. I wanted to be a singing cowboy like Roy and Gene, and maybe someday make my mark on the big screen. But now I'm out of my teens and I have 20 staring me right in the face. I look around and I say, what am I doing in this place? I'm living in a city in the east with no horse to ride, and when I lay down at night, I ain't wrapped up in no cowhide. So I'm going out to follow my dreams, get away from this city life and the cement sheen. You know, it's kind of scary, but it's kind of fun to saddle your horse and strap on your gun and follow your dreams to the setting sun. So I'm going out where cowboys stay and city life is far away. I'm moving to Texas, the Lone Star State. Why? Well, it's my kind of place. So I gave a little thought to growing up, it seems. Now get out of my way because I'm following my dreams. I'm moving to Texas, the best place on God's green earth, the place where my heart was born at birth.
So, till we meet again, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you at the crossroads. Let's go, Dan.